All right, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing amazing. I pray that the Lord has blessed your week so far. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through the second batch of this 240 chord series. I'm gonna talk to you about how to integrate these different chords into your playing. And again, I just want to open up by saying it's a great practice to do technique work, but don't do 2 hours of technique work a day. Like, in my opinion, like, you want to spend most of your time playing the actual songs, or figuring out how to apply the chords to a song. That's just my personal opinion. And so what I like to do is, when I'm really trying to get better at guitar, which is not always, work is work and life is life, but like when you have a little bit of space, I like to do a 15-minute session of technique work. And I have certain drills that I do, and they can be almost a little bit not mindless, but like, once you learn the drill, you're doing it, and you're trying to get your fingers to figure it out, right? And maybe it's very like it's really a stretch for you to get these into your hand. Like, it's hard work. Like, you are focusing and working hard. Don't sit there and expend mental energy like that all day long, right? There is a point where you get diminishing returns, and I think you get most of the nutrition by doing like a 15-minute session. So I set a timer, y'all, and I do my stuff. And some of these drills that I'm going to give you is what I did during that 15-minute period, and that's how I got these into my hands. Another disclaimer is you do not use all of these chords all the time. You do not. That is fine. You still want to know what they are. You still want to understand the math of the chords, because now I'm learning in such a way that, like, everything else that I'm learning, it's a domino effect. I'm building a greater understanding. There's people who can play, but the people who know why they're doing what they're doing, that's the gift that keeps on giving. That's the people that I can learn this song, and I'm going to take this out, and now I'm going to apply it to everything else. And everything you learn is just building things, and it's building information that you can use for everything you do. Okay, and that's what you want. You really want to pursue a little bit of that knowledge, and this is a great way to do it. And so I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you, oh, I use all 1,000 of these chords. I don't. I'm not even going to tell you that of all these batches that I'm going to create for you, that I even know all of them. I don't. 3 out of 5 of these batches I know very well, and I use a lot. The other 2 I don't really use hardly at all. And one of them, it's a situational thing where you're probably not going to use it very often. And so I'm going to transition here and talk about this next batch. This is the drop 2 chords. And so we did drop 3s already. Drop 3 just means that I'm playing 3 notes on the guitar. So I'm playing on strings 2, 3, 4, and then I'm skipping 5, and I'm playing on 6. That's a drop 3. There's only 2 batches of those, because you're covering 5 strings even though you're only playing 4, right? Because you're skipping the one that's right beneath the bass. Okay, really cool way to play block chords. Really cool way to play by yourself and to sound really full. It's awesome. These ones I use even more. They're called drop 2s. There are 3 batches of drop 2s because drop 2s they're a block of 4 strings. So like this would be an example. String 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another set, string 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's also a set that I don't really know very well, that's string 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason I don't use those as much is because I play with keyboard players and bass players a lot, and I'm sort of getting into the mid range there, and I just don't have a lot of reason to play those chords. And so functionally, I just don't really use them very often. So I've spent my energy learning the other ones. Okay, so but both of those sets you're gonna use all the freaking time. So I'm gonna go into my drop 2s that are from string 2 to 5, and we're just gonna walk through those. So transitioning to actually playing, you're going to have your chord diagrams up, so look at those. I'm going to label the chords with the actual note that you're I'm going to build out the math of the chord into the diagram. So here's what I mean. Every chord is built off of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, that basic major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's an octave, so do, do, do. Oh, that was pitchy, but yeah. And so that's the same notes. It's really 7 notes. To build a major 7 chord, you're going to do 1, 3, 5, and 7 from that scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 1. Okay, and then you're going to manipulate those numbers up or down to change what the chord actually is. So here's what I mean. That's all of your background information. And this stuff, don't skip this stuff. This stuff is important. If you have some theory, if you understand why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to open up so much more later on. So here we go. C major 7. Really common chord, used all the time. It's amazing. I'm going to change it to a dominant 7, so I'm flatting the 7. So I'm 1, 3, 5, flat 7. To make a minor 7 from there, I'm going to flat the 3 on top of flatting the 7. And then minor 7, flat 5, you guessed it, I'm flatting the 5 as well as the 7 and the 3. And then diminished. It's a diminished 7, and for the 7, you would flat it twice, so it's flat, flat 7. So that's what you got. Again, because of the math of the guitar, that diminished shape is where you're going to wind up with every single one of these 4 variations. You're going to have the same shape at the end. So if you wind up and you're done with, you rock the shape all the way down and you don't have this shape right here, you made a mistake. That's great. You found it very easily. And so now you can figure out where you got your math wrong. Oops, I double flatted the 5 or whatever, you know. If you want to be an overachiever, this is beyond what I have done, but I understand how to do it if I wanted to. You can even use this math to manipulate this chord in other ways. So, okay, what if I want a sharp 5? Like, what if I want a major 7 sharp 5? Okay, well, because I know which one is the 5, which is this guy right here, I can just sharp it. So I don't practice the shape, but there's a situation where you need that chord. Or what if I go to a minor major 7, okay? Which is weird, right? It's kind of like the James Bond chord. So I got a major 7, but I want to make it minor. Okay, I'll flat the 3. Okay, cool. So you can manipulate all these chords beyond what I showed you to kind of create anything. And unless you learn how to do the math and you understand a little bit of what you're doing, then you're just making shapes with your hand. And that's cool. You can still play stuff, but it's better to know why you're playing stuff because, again, it opens up everything else, okay? So next shape. Here we go, major 7. We'll go faster here because you understand the math of what I'm doing here. Flat 7. So that'll just be a 7, dominant 7. Minor. Hard to grab. I don't like that shape. And then minor 7, flat 5. Better. That's a pretty cool shape. And diminished. Double flat my 7. And look at this. Same shape, right? I'm just moving it up. 3 half steps. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Pretty cool. So now I'm going to go to my next shape. Major 7. Kind of nice. That's a really good dominant 7 shape. I use that a lot. Minor 7. Minor 7, flat 5. That's a cool shape. Diminished. But there's certain shapes that are gnarly, and it's like, I don't like this. And it doesn't, the order of the notes doesn't sound good. Fine, don't use it. But you know them, again, you've learned the math. And you do know more variations of how to play chords. And piano players have to do this all the time, y'all. We got it easy. Piano players, they're inverting all over the place and doing all this stuff. And sometimes we just learn one way to play a chord, and I don't know, man. You want to learn more. You don't want to get totally left in the dust. So, last shape. Here we go. Major 7. Ugly. I hate this shape. Terrible. But I know how to do it. Dominant 7. I don't use that very often. Minor 7. I don't love it, but I will use this shape often. Just the triad. So you can borrow bits and pieces of like, ooh, I like that, but I don't like having to reach for it. Well, don't reach for it. You know, take what you like. And then minor 7, flat 5. That's a cool shape. And then diminished. 7. That's it. That's your first chunk of 4 drop 2s, and that's on strings 2 through 5, okay? Next time we're going to do strings 1 through 4. I use those all the time. They're amazing. But just so you know, that's what you got. The drills, drill number 1 is this. You're gonna walk each chord down and just get a feel for them. Maybe say it out loud what they are. The next drill, so that's easy. You're just like figuring out the chords. That's great to learn those and understand those. Bonus points if you do it with a metronome, because the metronome puts pressure on you and forces you to like keep moving and not sit all day and think. And it reveals where you get stuck. So, okay, if I'm getting stuck, it's because my brain doesn't know the chord. So now I have to spend a little more time on that. Or maybe there's one shape that you're terrible at. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna do that for 5 minutes. Great. And then forget about it. Okay. The next drill is to go shape to shape. So I'm going to show you a couple examples. Major 7. And then go back down. And did you hear how the melody walked down? That was pretty cool. You can voice lead now using the same chord instead of just thinking of a chord as I sit there until they change. I can play the same chord in multiple places and voice lead a little bit and build some melody into that. That's super cool. So that's a great way that you'll immediately start to use this, okay? Next, don't just always do it with major 7. You got to do it with dominant 7 too. And you got to do it with all of them so that you can invert all of those around. And so you're getting them all, you're seeing them as you would actually be using them, which is like, I'm going through the chord chart, there's a major 7, and I'm going to invert on that a couple times and then keep moving, right? Okay? So now I'm do dominant 7. And then work back down. Same thing for minor 7. Ooh, this is hard. And then, and so you do that for all of them, right? And when you get to diminished, it's easy. Okay? So that's a great drill to get under your hands. Again, don't do it all day. Just like do it a little bit. Work on just the drop 2s, like certain variations for a certain amount of time, but because it can be hard work and it can take the joy out of life a little bit. Unless you're just freaking loving it, and then go for it. I mean, that's honestly how I learned when I was a kid. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, and I just like really digested them a lot at that point. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. Post them in the comments. I would love to interact with you. Like, this is super fun for me. And, you know, I really enjoy sharing some of the stuff that my teacher shared with me. I think it's an incredible thing what you're doing. You're playing for your church, and you're trying to get better. And, you know, you got your pro musicians, and that's awesome. But most churches, it's just folks like us who are just doing what we love to do and just serving God to the best of our ability. And so hopefully this information is going to help you out a little bit. So God bless you. I mean that. I don't just say it. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.